You guys kind of know the drill. Welcome back to the Unshakable Founder. If I hear a ding, I've got to go. Just so you guys know, my wife is visiting her mom right now, but she could be back within the next 10-15 minutes because it doesn't take her long to get back home. So I'm going to get through this past week's topics. The first thing I want to talk about is this whole balance between family life and work life. And one thing I will admit is that it's gotten way tougher to balance, my full-time job with family time and moving forward in the business. I get about an hour during the week at night to be able to work on the business. And if I don't have my priorities set, then I will be scattered and unfocused and not get anything done. And I experienced that this past week. And so I need to get really deliberate about what it is I'm doing in order to progress forward. And that's something that's, I think, true of anyone working on any business. And so, I just need to get my priorities straight. I need to do what I've been doing, which is, on the weekends, spending about an hour or so planning out my week. So I know exactly what I'm going to be learning or implementing into my business so that I can successfully grow it or move it forward, make some progress, I've been kind of focused lately on upskilling, especially around offers. And so one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm taking for those of you that don't know, Alex Hormozi has 4 courses right now available for free to watch on his website, acquisition.com. He's got offers, he's got leads, scaling, and the money models, which are based on all the books that he's written. I don't think he has a book on scaling unless he includes that in the leads book, but I have all 3. I'm about halfway through the offers book while taking the course together to help reinforce what I'm learning. And then I'm going to be implementing everything that I learn into the business. And I'm getting all of these ideas in my head about what type of offers I can play with and experiment with in the marketplace. And so I'm excited to kind of share that with you guys as I learn invaluable information about offers. I kind of wanted to share a quick story, and this is touching back on the balancing between family life and give you guys a real world example. So this past Monday was a holiday here in the States. It was Labor Day. And I was here at home with my wife and my son, and one of the things that we had planned on doing was grilling some burgers for my wife and I, not for my son really, but grilling some burgers. We have a community pool and barbecue area where we live. And so, I claimed one of those barbecue spots, and I was trying to balance. So in the morning, I worked on the business for a couple of hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours, but I wanted to get more work done. And you guys might see my dog. She's walking around here. And I was kind of itching to get some work done. But at the same time, I knew my wife didn't really have anywhere to go. And she was, at the pool area with my son. And there was this moment where we had finished eating our burgers and my son had fallen asleep. And I remember telling her, I think I'm going to go, back home and get some work done. And I just sat there and just thought a little bit. And, I've heard this kind of expression or this idea or sentiment kind of shared a lot. And that is, as you get older and you look back on your life, you're never going to say, man, I wish I would have worked more on my business. You're going to think, man, I wish I would have spent more time with my son or my wife. And in that moment, I made the choice to stay there and just talk with my wife for about an hour while my son napped there. I didn't want to leave her alone. And it gets really tough because I know I'm going to have to make sacrifices where I'm not spending time with them. I'm, getting some work done in order to either upskill or grow the business. And that's the tough part about this. And I think it gets a little bit tougher, especially when you start this late and, you do have a family. And that's just an experience that I wanted to share with you guys so that you kind of understand that it's tough. It's tough balancing because a lot of the times I'm thinking about ways that I can make new offers, ways that I can improve my current system for my clients, ways that I can improve the experience for my clients, ways that I can do better outreach, or there's a whole host of things that I think about and get excited about, but can't really in the moment entertain because I have other responsibilities, I have other values, right? That can kind of conflict with other values that I have. And so I just wanted to share that experience. If you're an entrepreneur with a family, I understand how tough it is to balance the two. And it's getting even tougher now that I have this full-time corporate job. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let's see. I had an update here from this past week. I'm getting a better sense of my coworkers and who I'm working with. And I'm finding that it's a pretty negative environment. Now, that being said, it's way better, like leaps and bounds better than where I was at the previous firm 2 years ago. But it's just, it tends to feel like this industry, architecture and engineering, is full of I guess you could say complainers and people with victim mindsets. And people who just feel like this is their only option and this is what their life is and there's no way to fix it or improve it. And it's in no way like affecting me because I have my mission, I have my direction, I know what I'm working towards. And it's just an observation, really. It's not really a criticism on them. Like, this is all they've known. They have not been exposed, more than likely, to the experiences, the stories, the opportunities that I have. And so the best I can do is just be more of like an encouraging presence or a positive presence in the face of so much negativity. And it's not a criticism of their character. It's more of an observation, and it's just a reality of the industry and how people feel about working in architecture and engineering. And let me know, please, if you feel differently if you're in the industry of architecture or engineering. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you're passionate about it, if you're currently like seeking licensure as an architect. We'd love to hear your thoughts. I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to share. I had a bullet point here about starting Alex Hormozi's offer course. There was another thing I wanted to share, which was invaluable to me. I came across a video on Alex Hormozi's YouTube channel. And he's started a series about 7 months ago. It might have been even earlier than that. No, I think it was this year. 7 months ago that he started this. But it's called, what is it called? Helping strangers build their businesses, or something to the tune of that. Helping strangers grow their business, something like that. But I watched one of these videos, and it was the most, at least, if you're a founder or an entrepreneur, it's going to be incredibly entertaining because there's so much value packed into the hour that he helps these strangers build their business. And so the one that I saw was with this girl named Ashley, and she's a stylist, like a styling coach for generally wealthy people. I think she focuses in on moms, like divorced moms maybe, and CEO men, or like people like men who are in the C-suite. And yeah, Alex Hormozi just, he brought her onto the channel, and it was an in-person presentation. She gave her presentation on her business, shared some of her numbers, and Alex is there taking notes. And then, between her presentation and him taking notes, there's like these scenes of like him talking about his thoughts on what he's thinking in the moment. And like, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. It is incredibly informational, knowledgeable. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. It's educational for sure, and it's entertaining, and you will learn so much about what you need to do or what you need to focus on in order to grow. In her case, it was an online service-based business, but she would travel to her customers, and I think that's included in her pricing. But yeah, it was just incredibly eye-opening and really great value for the hour that you're watching. So had to recommend that. I think that was it. Yeah, that's it for this week. I hope you guys found this valuable. I'm trying to, find ways to make these videos more valuable as I go from week to week, and I will try and share like more information. I will try to share more more tidbits of my personal life and how I'm working on this balance. It's like this unbalanced equation of full-time job, family, and business, and it's heavily weighted towards the full-time job because it's just the majority of where my time goes. And so as I get more focused in on the things I need to get done, I'll share those things with you guys. I'll share what I'm working on, and if there's resources that I find that I think are helpful, like Alex Hormozi's offers scaling leads and money models course on his site acquisitions.com. It's available for anyone for free. Check that out. And that's it for this week. I will catch you guys next week. See ya.